What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're not going to talk about soft plastics or soft baits. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different here. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with these. These are hard baits. We've all used them. You got the minnow styles here. They are supposed to mimic bait fish, right? And obviously hard baits are made by several different manufacturers, and they come in a variety of different colors, and they put off a bunch of different action. You got your dynamic HD, I think this is what this one is right here. You know, and so you got your lip that dives, you got your jointed ones, or the articulated hard baits. This is a Rapala jointed one. And obviously, again, you got a variety of different colors. You got some Japanese ones that are like small and jointed. And then you got like a Rapala countdown. Right. These are fantastic baits. Finesse baits right here. These sizes right here are fantastic finesse baits. When targeting trout, bass, crappie, pretty much any predatory fish will hit a hard bait. So very different than your soft plastic baits. But something I want to show you is something that I think is very, very underrated, meaning a lot of people don't use them very often. And these just happen to be made by a fellow finesse angler who is also a Kana fishing my soft plastic baits. He's a customer. But he ties flies. And what he did is he took his fly tying, blended it with, jig heads. So you're, like your traditional jig fishing with soft plastics. And he's made flies out of these. Now, I know what you're saying. You've seen things like this before. This isn't necessarily anything new. But I will say that these are all handmade by him. And he's bringing a discipline from tying flies for fly fishing into finesse baits that are more geared for your BFS or your ultralight, finesse fishing gear. And so these are very cool, and I'll talk about some of the unique things that he's done with these. Obviously, as you can see, he's got an eye for color. So he's made, he's got a nice pink neck on this, on top of a jig head, I believe. Let's see. That right there is 2.8 grams total weight. And yeah, so he's got that tied up. As you can see, what's really unique about this is he's got a really long tail, and he uses a variety of different materials. So if you look at your traditional black, like woolly bugger, black or olive woolly bugger, a lot of times it's just a single feather type tied onto a smaller jig hook, and sometimes the tails are pretty short, so call it like so is what you might be looking at for a woolly bugger. But with his, he makes really long tails on them, which is great when you're bouncing it in the water. I guess if you go like this, if you got your line coming out this way, that tail is going to put off a lot of movement. So I thought that was really, really cool, and I do like the use of different materials in these. He makes a variety of different colors, right? So this here's a green neck with the chartreuse jig head, long feathered tails. He's got the fire tiger, right? So you got your orange, you got your chartreuses, your greens, dark orange, light orange. He's got a variety of different colors here. Very, very unique feather jigs. Got another green and brown here, and you got finally another neon green. So these are really geared for casting and jigging. If you're jigging for bass or trout or crappie or whatever, that's what these are for. Well, he and I got got to talking, and I was telling him about this being one of my favorite trolling baits. And so one of the things that, I was asking him if he could make were trolling jig flies. And he was like, of course he could do that. And so let me show you what he came up with. But actually, before I get into those, let me show you some of the other colors he's made here. Simply because they're just absolutely gorgeous. Right, look at that. White, red with the holographic silver. Let me just, I don't know if the camera's picking up on that, but it's just absolutely beautiful. Right there, you got an all white one with the holographic silver on there. These are just going to be killer when you're talking about muddy water conditions, stained water conditions. You got this one right here, which is white feathers with this coarse hair-like material. And then you got this hint of blue. So when it's flowing through the water, it almost looks like a shad type bait, right? With the blue top right there. Can you see that? And then this coarse hair gives it kind of that pearlesque body effect to it. So yeah, very, very cool. And then he's got another one, lots, big feathers. Look at that, big feathers. And again, you get kind of that coarse material right there. Very robust, right? So this is not going to be a small profile bait. You're talking about a very light bait. So I think these are about 2.5 grams, but very robust in size in the water, even if it gets wet or when it gets wet. You'll see it's still very, very robust. So it's going to, great large profile to catch the eye of these, the fish you're targeting. All right. So now let's talk about the jointed or articulated baits here. So his name is Tyler. By the way, I forgot to mention his name is Tyler. He is, again, a fellow BFS / finesse angler. We're part of many similar Facebook communities. We've connected online and so talked about a bunch of that already. So let's see. Look at this. Look at this. Just gorgeous. Look at these colors. In the soft plastic world, if you're using those green pumpkins or those olive colors, right? Come on. And you get that flash of the copper and that, I don't know what they call it, tinsel or whatever, that multicolor holographic. Oh, that is just stunning. And as it swims through the water, you're getting that long tail just kicking or jigging. You're getting that long tail just floating through. You'll even notice that on this particular one, this has got, this right here is a little bit different. So it's got the leather backing on it. And so that alone just adds a little bit more weight. So you're going to get a little bit more action, right? So you're talking different weights, right? So the tinsel or this foil-like, these foil-like strands are really going to float. And you got this little tail here with the leather back on it. That's really going to impart a lot of action on that. And then you got the feathers, right? Just the poof. So as you're jigging this, you're talking just a pulsating effect as you're jigging. Very, very cool. Okay, so talking about jointed or articulated baits, he made, check this out, guys. He made an articulated feather jig. Now he designer, again, I was talking to him about trolling. What he could do to, kind of mimic a trolling fly. And this is what he came up with. And I tell you what, it is just freaking so cool. Look at that. Look at the joint action on that. right? I mean, just absolutely amazing. Obviously, again, using different materials of different weights and different color schemes with that articulation. The intention of these, or originally the way I was planning on using this, was to put on an action disc on the front down to a bobber stop in front of this. And so as I troll it, the action disc is going to impart the action, and really the articulation or the joint is going to really kick. And it's got that long tail, the long feather tail as it's going through the water. So yeah, very, very cool. But I wanted to take it one step further. I was thinking, you know, if I'm going to be fishing from the shore, casting out, or if I'm just kind of stationary from my kayak and just casting and retrieving, how could I make this bait better, right? So we talked about the action disc while trolling. Well, that got me to thinking, what if I added a chatter blade to it? I mean, check that out, right? You got chatter blade going through, just vibrating through the water, and you got this articulating tail, feather jig, robust profile, beautiful colors, feathers of, you know, feathers and materials of different weights going through. Ow, just stabbed myself, sharp hook. Yeah, and just going through. I think this right here on BFS gear is just gonna just slam. I mean, that is just gorgeous. You know, usually when I'm thinking of chatter type baits, I'm thinking of soft plastics, right? You got a jig head, or you got some sort of a weighted hook, and then you're throwing a soft plastic on there. That's, you know, and the action is going to come off the tail of that soft plastic. Well, this right here is kind of like that, except it's all feathers, very soft. You're going to get a lot more action from, again, the pulsing of the feathers coming off as the blade is churning through the water, and this tail is just kicking. You're getting a lot of different motion. Very, very cool. And yeah, obviously he's made these in a few different colors. You know, if you guys are into the green pumpkins or the olive greens, I mean, look at this right here. Look at the colors in that. Just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, just wanted to showcase this. Tyler, thank you so much for sharing your creativity with me and sending me some of your baits. Really, really appreciate it. For the rest of you guys, if you're interested in possibly getting some of these, I don't think he's set up a website yet. I don't even know if he's planning on selling these, but I'll go ahead and link his Facebook page in the description below. Feel free to reach out to him and see, maybe he could do a custom one-off order for you guys if you're interested. I mean, these are just absolutely beautiful, and I tell you what, they're different. Right, they're different. You're going to see guys throwing out hard baits. You're going to see guys throwing soft baits, and you're going to see some throwing like woolly buggers. But articulating baits, especially on a chatterblade, oh, come on. That's got to be money right there, right? So, anyways, thank you, Tyler, again. Thank you all for watching this, for clicking on this video and watching it. Hope you really enjoyed what you saw here. Hope you enjoyed the content today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave some comments down below, and we'll catch you on the next one.